Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dan Brown. I've got a great piano lesson ready for you today. So if you're ready, head on over to the piano because we're going to get started right now. That's an example of chording in the key of E flat. And when I say chording, all I mean is that you're playing chords. So that's what chording means, is that you're just playing chords. You're not playing fills, you're not playing solos, you're not doing anything fancy. You just got your left hand moving and your right hand moving and you're laying down chords. We're in the key of E flat, and you can see the E flat circle of chords there, and the E flat is at the top. Today we're not going to be using any other chords. We're just going to be looking at E flat. Now later on, I encourage you to find one of my lessons on walking, and those lessons you'll walk from E flat to A flat, and you'll walk down to B flat. And so in those lessons you'll use these other chords that you see here in purple. I want to talk to you about E flat and B flat and some of these chords that people don't play in that often. And when I say that, I really shouldn't say that people don't play in them, because just for example, like in gospel music, in jazz, and really also sometimes in country, artists are singing and recording in B flat, E flat, A flat. There's a song back from the 90s called Oklahoma Swing, and that song goes back and forth between B flat and E flat, and it's a great song. And I want to encourage you not to shy away from these chords and from these keys. Really, we're talking about a key here. Don't shy away from them. Don't be afraid. You think, oh, I can play an E, but what is E flat? Well, let's talk about that for a minute. So this is E flat. It's E flat major in a root position. You got two black ones and you got a white one here in the middle. And so E flat is its own key. It's not related to the key of E. If you look at the circle and you go around to the right and you see the E in gray, it's a long ways removed. Here in the United States we have Indiana, and then kind of on the other side of the world we have India. So Indiana and India are not the same. Okay, they're completely different. They're really far removed from one another. So don't confuse the keys of E and E flat. Let's get started. Today's lesson, it's just a real easy lesson on chording. I want you to take your pinky and play this E flat right here, because we're going to play an octave. So I want you to use your pinky and your thumb and just grab those octaves. If your hands are really small, if your hands are too small to grab these, then you're going to play your E flat with just one note, and you're going to alternate with just one note. So in the left hand, you're playing your E flats and you're alternating here on this. This is called a B flat, and I'm alternating here with my pointer finger. In the right hand, I'm going to have you play this chord. It's only two notes, but it's still a chord. It's an E flat major. This is called the fifth of the chord, and we just get all of those intervals from the major scale. So if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the distance from here to here is called a fifth. And then if you go from here, if you start here on your B flat and you count up 1, 2, 3, 4, this interval is called a fourth. It's just the distance. It's almost like using a tape measure. You roll out a tape measure, you got, say you have 5 inches here and 4 inches here. That's a lot like intervals are. So guys, the chord that I want to show you is just this. Play your B flat with your thumb, play your E flat with your pointer finger. That's all you're going to do. I like to play it like this because if you wanted to round the chord out and add the third, which is this G right here that you see flashing, you can do that. You can also add a 7, which is this. Listen, here it puts tension and it shows that you're getting ready to move. You can also add a 6 right here. So that's just why I use these fingers for this chord, and I would recommend that you do that. The other thing is that it gets your whole hand up and off of the white notes. So I think it's good if you're a beginner, even if you're a more advanced player. Just for today, I want you to try this. So let's get started. I want you to do this with me. Go ahead and get your hands on the keys. We're going to play the E flat in the bass, so you got 2 of those, and then just lay down your chord. And I'll try to lift my hands up so I'm not lighting everything up at once. So there's your bass chord. Now here's your alternate and your chord. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to play bass, chord, bass, chord, bass, chord, bass, chord. And when I say bass, I'm talking about your left hand. When I say chord, I'm talking about these 2 notes in your right hand. Let's do this together. I'm going to slow down and I want you to play it with me, and then I'll show you how to break this chord up. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass, chord, bass, chord. And that's all you do. That's how you chord on an E flat. Now, if you can do that and you're ready to try something a little bit more advanced, let me show you this. This is just taking this chord and breaking it up. What you're going to do is you're going to play your B flat, your E flat, and you're playing them separately, then your B flat again. So let me show you. Let me demonstrate this. Your left hand stays the same. So what you're doing with the bass notes doesn't change at all. It's bass, break this up, alternate, okay? And that's all it is. So that's E flat, that's chording on E flat, and I want you to look for a lesson later on that has you walk up from E flat to A flat, and it's either gonna look like this. So the bass will walk up, or a more advanced way to do that is to have the right hand doing the work, and it looks like this. Then it comes back down. So look for those lessons, but learn this first. And guys, remember, don't be afraid of the keys with flats, because once you get in there and you start doing this, you're going to love it and you're going to do fine.